Hello Internet! Welcome to an update review for Ponyvania Demo 8. I'm your host, Maxas. Now if you're wondering why I'm making this video after I have a whole run-through of it, well, due to copyright claims, those videos are blocked in some countries, mainly Germany. So for the sake of that, I will be making this video as a full audio brief on this demo update without being hammered by audio claims, since this is just my voice you are hearing. Also, if you are not interested in seeing the run-through, but still want to hear my opinions, you've got the right video. Also, you're not going to see anything but the thumbnail, so if you want to go off and do something else while you listen to this in the background, that'll be okay too. You will not be missing anything. Before moving on, I would like to remind you that Ponyvania is a My Little Pony fan game based off of Castlevania. Konami owns the copyrights to Castlevania, and of course Hasbro holds the copyrights to My Little Pony. ZiggyLung Studios put this game together. I do not own it, nor the copyrights contained within Ponyvania. What you can expect is my opinions and feedback on Ponyvania's current public release demo, which is Demo 8. First things first, booting up the game will play the trailer that two snacks threw together, and it's definitely worth watching if you have not already seen it. Secondly, a bunch of music files were dumped into the directory, but that's not a big deal. Next is that there is an options menu right on the title screen, and you now have the ability to change your key configurations. Now, I do not know if this was there before, but I cannot recall using it for the WASD movement, WASD, which really helps as I nearly cannot play a PC game that I can't move with WASD. Otherwise, I would just cross my hands over each other so that I can move around with the arrow keys. Now, supposedly some main and tail styles did not make it into this demo, but that doesn't render the game unplayable by any stretch of the idea. Excuse me. What has been clarified is that what I've said in my last review of this game is that white ponies would get the highest boost. This is not the case. Having a white, gray, or black pony will distribute the bonuses among the three stats. Also, the colors you apply yourself are distributed evenly among two stats if two stats are the same value. Nextly, after character creation, you're greeted by a scrolling intro text that tells you the story up to this point. It gives you backstory on what's going on and what the fuss is all about. And after the wall disappears from your screen, you're suddenly thrown into the tutorial level. Now, I really like this addition because not only is it a nice touch, but the game also gives you a great sense of badassery, as you're wearing quite possibly the best gear that would be released in the full version of the game. Don't quote me on that, by the way. An awesome armor, a sword which is the size of the Eiffel Tower, and a trinket which would revive you once if you died. Now, if you actually died at this point in the game, you might as well uninstall the game and go sit in the corner and think about your life. The game walks you through the controls and gives you a taste of combat. I'd also like to point out that the actual instructions that the game presents you with match the keys that you bound in the options if you have done that. And of course, if you finish the tutorial, your items are jacked by a shadow that passes through you. So after it strips you of all your cool gear, just walk your naked self forward into the structure and into the home base, if you will. Now, after having a chat with Celestia for the first time, cruise over by Luna again and have a chat, and she will give you a new scroll. Now, I've played this several times, and it seems she gives you the same thing each time. And, then you proceed to the next room, and yeah, the guard stops you at the door and gives you your first weapon. He then teaches you how to equip your weapons, armor, and accessories, and while he's at it, he will toss in the idea of skills and abilities as well. Another interesting note is that if you equip your skills before being stopped by this guy, he will actually notice you've done this and skip over that. I find that really cool. That's cool. I like that. Progressing through the game, there are a few changes that I'd like to point out. Mudmen, they still spawn directly under you, and I saw in the patch notes that they no longer did this, but I clearly saw, even in my run-through, that they were still doing this. Also, the money in the wall is not even there half the time, but it's still worth looking for it, just in case. Probably one of my favorite additions to the level is the bonuses you get after you complete the level for the first time, and of course the better you do, the more money you get. And this really helps in boosting your funds for Filthy Rich's shop, which brings me to my next point. Money isn't as hard to find anymore. With the addition to the world map and the ability to replay completed levels, there is no reason you shouldn't be able to afford the best that Filthy has to offer. Also, after Celestia tells you that the shop is open, visit Luna for a $800 donation. And with the additions to money making, it's pretty much means that Filthy Rich's high prices aren't really that high anymore. Oh, and before I drop the money subject, it still bothers me how your character cannot tell the value of coins when they are picked up, and it's still no little ding or sparkle after you pick them up. That still bothers me. Now, a really nice thing that I liked was in the Cloudsdale level. There are 2 different endings there to that chapter, and it's based off your actions towards Ditsy Doo as you play through the level. Or Derpy if you are really finicky about her name. But I call her Ditsy Doo. I won't directly spoil it for you, but here's a hint as well as an addition that I really liked. Ditsy now attacks the Ursa Minor by leaping around on a cloud and zapping it with lightning. While it does little damage, it's still a good gesture. But after the fight, Ditsy is tired and she really wishes she brought something to eat. And it is at this point that Ditsy will either happily fly back with you, or she either becomes depressed noticing how helpful she has been for you. And it's basically a happy or a sad ending. What I will say is that if you get the sad ending, you will not be able to return to Cloudsdale because Ditsy will not return to the home base with you. So you will not be able to replay that level because of that. And I hope you visit Luna between every level because she gives you scrolls. Some skill scrolls. Nextly, the 4th area is really good. I really like it, even though those big lizard heads that popped out of the walls nearly made me wet myself the first time I was going through that. I wasn't too happy about the mini-boss Wolf Pony either, to be a badass and launching Kamehamehas at me. Even though the were-ponies bothered me, what I really liked was this really cool detail is that after this boss is defeated, he will morph back into his pony form and would lay there out cold. And I noticed over the course of several playthroughs that this pony is actually different every time you play. Either by its coat color, main style, tail style. I think the cutie mark remains the same, which is like a little wolf face. But I really like that addition. That's really cool. The mini mission in World 4 included saving 2 injured guards by giving them Sage. 1 Sage is given to you by what I assume to be the squad leader, and you meet the 2nd injured pony before you actually acquire a 2nd Sage. Now, I thought this was a bug, and I felt that, I felt bad about leaving him behind. This, of course, was before I moved a few feet forward and saw a 2nd Sage on the other side of the wall. I'm clearly an idiot. This also made me, reminded me that you can't actually go back a floor. I really wish you can go back a floor, because in the event that an enemy knocks you back and you're forced to go into the next area, you might have left behind the chest because you would fight the enemies first so that you don't risk yourself taking damage from trying to open the chest first with enemies all around you. So I kind of wish that you're able to go back a section of the level. Whether or not enemies respawn, I'll leave that up to Ziggy. But you could miss out on something really nice because you were kicked out. Now, of course, you can just replay the level and just get the chest that way. Maybe I'm being a little bit too finicky about this, but yeah, I don't know. It just really bothers me. but I'm just one person. Other people may not feel the same way about it. Oh, I also noticed that when I got the second sage in that 4th mission, that different monsters joined the area. The same area. And this included another lizard pony and a stone rose. Now, this took me completely by surprise, and it really made me look forward to the full version perhaps making use of this feature. The final boss of World 4, I won't spoil it. It was really good. The only problem I really had with it is that each entity, there are 3 by the way, had a lot of health, and it just felt like the battle was dragging out longer than it really had to be. And I'm playing this on easy. They were still whittling me down as the battle continued, and it really forced me to use one of those Water of Lives. But it doesn't make the battle impossible. I can still see it being done in a higher difficulty setting, but I don't think my skills are par for that course. After defeating the boss there, the squad leader guy will break the 4th wall and give you a grade based off your difficulty level, the level that you reached, and how many times you've died over the course of your run. Also, if your grade is apparently high enough, he'll invite you to flop around in their training halls, which is more like a parkour gauntlet of death. Seriously, blood on those swinging axes? That's not cool. And from a pony perspective, at least, yeah, after all, it is training grounds for the elite guard, and that blood on the axe only means that someone thought it was a good idea to go planking on it. Anyway. Now, the course actually times you as you run through it. Completing the course sticks you in a room with an awkward stallion staring at you, and he'll tell you how long he's been watching you as you were going through the obstacle course. Kinda creepy. I've also been unfortunate enough to be given crappy skills at playing this game, so I did not unlock the arena challenge. I apologize to those who wanted to see that in my run-through, but you will be sitting through millions of deaths, which reminds me, if you are set on a high difficulty at the beginning, an interesting pony actually offers you to lower the difficulty for you if you die too many times. And if you accept this, it will show on your in-game grade, making it lower. As a final note, the game feels more balanced. It seems the hitboxes were adjusted to fit well. It feels like I'm actually spending more time playing the game than I am ripping my hair out from the stress. The new critical arts are amazing, and with the new weapons, and each weapon seems to have their own critical art animation, that's really cool and really unique. By the way, try using a critical art on the tutorial stage with the really awesome gear. You'll be impressed. That's about all I have to say. Now again, ZiggyLung Studios, you're doing a fantastic job. I like what you're doing so far, and I still can't wait to see more in the future. I wish you well on your development, and I thank you so much for what you've done so far. So keep calm and pony on. And also thank you viewers for watching. I'm Maxas Wildborn, and I'll see you guys in the next video, but until then, you have a good one.